Thank you very much, Nicole. It's a pleasure to be here again with my guest commentator, Vysetra, who I greatly appreciate being here, especially since he's not exactly very well tonight. But we are back this year again now with Fate Chapter 2. And again, we are continuing on the saga with Faith, where we are in a 80s satanic panic scenario. We have to do our best in this pixelated horror game. We will get to it when we get into it, but for now, start time is on new game, and subsequently then it ends when you see the ending 3 initiation card, which also is alongside game over. So what I'm going to do is a 3, 2, 1, and we will get started. So 3, 2, 1, go. So we do start off this with a prologue from Father Garcia. We don't, usually we were like, hey, where's John? But for this one, we are actually going to go back, where it's like, hey, let's see what happens with Michael. What's his origin story a little bit more? And this will be it. So we do have this little bit of a cutscene, but this goes into all the little images that you saw on the other floor as well. That also went into his storyline, saying like, week 1, etc., and his further declination into this state that we see before us. And of course, we can't have anything without demons. So we're going to exercise him for a little bit. He's not going to be too happy about it, but his best interests are in mind. Sadly, what happens? He escapes. But he took a little memento with him as well. The final image of himself that was encapsulated in that last Polaroid.
And possibly the greatest line of the entire run. He has the body of a pig.
That is actually a nice little snippet from a internet hoax where it was an EVP video from England. I can't actually remember from when it was, but it was an EVP that said, I have the body of a pig in the background.
Yes, I remember this actually.
Yeah, okay. 2 a.m., very important, comes up like halfway through the game, but nevertheless, so we skipped that other little screen there, because I just hit up a little bit to the right and then up again, and we go through. There's a little bit of tech that is, it's being revisited from Faith Chapter 1, and we'll get to it when we get to it. However, one thing to keep in mind, it's spooky time.
It's actually, always spooky time.
It isn't. It's spooky time. Okay. So there are 3 individuals here. They're all, covered in red. So we know what that means. Red is evil. Don't trust them.
Red is bad.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. We see a little 4 skulls light up on the wall there. And it is part of, it's part of our duty. But nevertheless, for the ending that we're attempting to get this time, it is ending 3. And ending 3 is the initiation ending. Where usually this entire time we've been trying to fight the cult. In this one, we attempt to join it. Kid, can you get back?
You know what they say. Oh, there we go. Mortis.
Child. So, another thing to remember. The enemy placement completely random in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So every run that you have is never going to be exactly like the one you've had before. Thankfully, the little checkpoints are relatively close by, so if anything goes awry, you can just quickly get back into the heat of fighting demons in the clouds.
That first fight was actually quite unfortunate. Typically speaking, when this ghost baby runs towards the bottom of the map, that's typically considered bad RNG.
This one was
what you want
again,
is, yeah, this one was. It's what it is. What it is. But in an ideal world, you would have the ghost baby loitering around the middle towards the top section, as close towards the exit or the way that you came in as possible. But such is life.
Yeah, like the quickest time is about 253 to 254, and that's if the demon complies with where he is inside one of the clouds. But you don't always get what you desire.
No.
But one thing is, if you get really bad RNG on one of the enemies, there's going to be another one, like one of the bosses, that will actually comply with you, and it feels fantastic when that actually happens. But nevertheless.
Yeah.
Back on track. Satanic Panic of the 80s in North America. And I'm actually going to take this here because I don't want to accidentally pick up the note there. And continuation from Fate Chapter 1, we will see another character as well from that game. Her name is Amy. And we also potentially see another family member as well. So it's interesting, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So, from Fate Chapter 1 as well, what I'm doing here is a little crucifix glitch. And what you do is you bring up your crucifix, you unpause the menu again, and lo and behold, you can move around with your crucifix. So you can move while attacking. Why is that important? Well, when you try to play the game as normal, you can't do that whatsoever, so you're trapped. So we're going to avoid here a little cutscene trigger it a little bit later so we get extra damage, and take care of him. Piece of cake. Because normally that enemy will just like go in a wave pattern on the screen and you have to fight him normally. We don't want to do that. We're trying to speed this. We're trying to speed it up.
We want to go fast.
As you can see, of all the 4 skulls on the wall, 1 was left. Everyone that was in here before, gone. And that was it. We did the last sacrifice. So, there's a README file that is actually in the game. And it says, go back to where you started when you're bleeding. So it's like, that's a bit curious. Let me do that. So this is one of 3 rites which we actually have to fulfill in order to obtain the ending which we desire. This is one of them. And then throughout the game, we find other little notes as well. Even the second demon that we had fought there in the cemetery also drops a note saying, I'm going to make a pentagram in the forest, and then I'll show them my true power. And so, that's step 1. Step 2, be nice to me.
Yes, this coming section where we get this little spirit ghost run at us can kill us quite easily. Now, if we actually get attacked on this screen, thankfully that didn't happen. He spawned and then despawned, but if you get killed on that screen, it crashes the game entirely, which is not fun for anybody. This has been really unfortunate spawn so far.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, it's just like, I can keep going. You can too,
true.
but,
Good
you got me there.
reactions.
You gonna be a good boy? There we go. He was good.
That was alright.
Yeah. So he spawned and despawned twice there, which is incredibly rare.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that before. And of course, we scare a tree away. It's fine, just a typical day in the job.
Yeah, the trees can walk. It's no big deal.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah, it's probably fine.
we are now entering the church. And I'm going to, I'm just going to beeline it for the confession booth. Because I think it would be only fair to say, hey, really, I'll have some time for some donations, if you please.
Absolutely. I have a $100 donation from Airdorf. Happy to donate to such a great cause. Vynn, me and my inner circle are watching your run and rooting for you. So cool to watch one of your runs live on AGDQ. A little developer's commentary. Faith Chapter 2 has audio from an actual recorded exorcism integrated into its sound design. Pretty spooky, huh? Best of luck on your run, and remember, Gary loves you.
Thank you very much, Airdorf.
Thank you so much for your donation. Do we have time for another?
Yes, one more, please.
Awesome. I have a $10 donation from Mr. Onion. GDQ Horror Block Watch Party Hype. Let's put this towards RE Village and extend the week. Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank you so much. All right, we're actually about to get back into the game here. And Here we go. So there's the Spindly Lady game. You find that in the notes. There was this crew who were trying to get some easy money, doing some ghost hunting within the church here. And what we're going to do instead is say, hey, that sounds pretty good. Maybe we could use the money instead, though. And we got a good one.
Oh, wow.
We got a very good spawn. So all the other rooms only had 2 candles lit. This one has 1, and that's the one we need. This is fantastic. Yeah.
That was a really good fight.
That's one of the best I've ever had. I'm actually really pleased with that one. All right. So for our second initiatory phase is the Doom Child. And this little boy out here, you may remember a certain character named Amy from Fate Chapter 1. She was purple. This kid is also purple. Now, Amy had 2 little brothers, Nathan, was it Nate and Jason? I don't know, but that may have been her little brother. So we get transported into this little booth. Now, unfortunately, we did get cast into the Shadow Realm a little too quick, so the music isn't playing. But this demon we also do see in Fate Chapter 1 as well, in the hidden ending for the Mirror Demon. And thankfully we get to say hi again, because, it's been a while. It's been a while. Oh, he spawned a little ooh.
Not bad.
Not too bad. Got lucky.
Let's hope this last phase goes quite nicely. This fight can be quite trolly when it wants to be. Sometimes it's got like 2 or 3 separate sort of movement speeds. Sometimes he will just spawn on you quite like that and then go at full speed, which did very nearly kill Vynn. But it seems it's now under control. All is well with the world.
Yeah, we got through that one. No bother at all. All right. So thankfully, that all went according to plan. You could see there was just tons of skeletons underneath that demon as well, where there were rumors where there were children being dragged in under here and then into different areas of the church for, reasons which are only known to the cult. However, this is where 2 a.m. comes back into play. 2 a.m. that we saw at the very beginning of the game actually is, well, it's basically the start of the cult's activities, and that's when this puzzle is like, hey, start at 2 a.m., continue on the clock as usual. There you go. Mother Demons. That's our grand prize. But we are going to hopefully say hi to the Mother Demons eventually. And this is another little skip as well, the little corner skip. So you don't have to go kind of wandering around too much, you just have to do that and you're back in play. Now, this one part, there's a certain rhythm to this, but, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to cover for you so you can focus on getting the inputs. This little section here, we would dual wield, would use a controller and a gamepad controller to scroll through the notes with the analog stick and then mash the S key. But if you mash too fast, it drops the inputs and it slows things down. Not good for a speedrun. So you have to sort of find a fine rhythm to actually press S and progress with the note to actually get it right and actually, save time and not lose time. But yes, we were. I
pretty much got that input down to a T nearly, but sometimes you do kind of slip up. Oh,
no!
Slight deviation from the plan.
We will just have to recontinue.
Winners don't do drugs. So
yes.
We're just going to continue with a little bit of, slight deviation because we're doing some experimental tech right now. So if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call a bridge reset strat.
It's not a reset. It is absolutely intended, 100%. If you get hit by the truck, though, you do get to see a nice, a different kind of mortar screen entirely.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And it's all completely scrambled and jumbled, and it's just complete noise. Also, Puppet Combo reference. Candy Tunnel.
Not to be mistaken for Candy Mountain.
That's going way back now.
Yeah.
Also, the key here, there is actually a note there on a casual run. If you're just, wandering about and they're actually interested, you pop in behind there, get some extra lore. Because this is like the score's den, really. It's the sewer, unfortunately. And we are not going to read because we're a little too cool for that. But all hail Sutton and the silky goodness.
I just can't read.
I can't read either, dude.
Okay.
Really important here, though. Don't move.
Yes, this is...
Until you see that leg.
little guy there will say something very rude to you if you move whilst he's in the same room. With this little section coming up, we've got maybe, 20, 30 seconds before we get into the next fight, so maybe this would be a quick time for a good donation. Got my
Sure.
wallet there.
Absolutely. I have a $25 donation from Augie. They say, Rah, Mortis. Thank you so much for your donation. I have a $100 donation from Valthus that says it's spooky time. It sure is. Thank you so much for your donation. And a $5 donation from Freelance7, joining the $5 train. Let's not Mortis. Thank you so much for your donation.
Excellent
Sorry to
stuff.
disappoint in that one. Very mortist. But there is some experimental tech here. I'm going to give it a go. And
It's
hope
worth
for the
going
best.
for.
It is definitely worth going for. So what I'm going to do is avoid the cutscene here, go straight up to the top, do my crucifix, and turn around. We may or may not get it. It's a 50-50.
It's going to be a little more consistent. This fight can be really, really... It can treat you well or it can treat you quite harshly. I remember when I was grinding this category for a good time that this was the part of the run that I absolutely dreaded the most. Purely just because where this demon spawns when he goes on the run is obviously random. That was a really good fight.
So that's tunnel tech. Basically shaving off a minute of the run. Okay.
I'm a little jealous.
We did it. Absolutely fantastic. I'm very happy with that one, because usually he can last an extra 40 seconds to a minute, or even a minute and 20. It can get a little bit wild there.
There's nothing so disheartening quite like being on a really good pace and then having a really, really bad tunnel fight.
Yeah. Okay, those are Enochian letters, actually. And when translated, it spells out into Latin. And then into English, it means abode of Malphus. And Malphus is second in command to Satan. So that's where the cult lies. Just little fun facts like that. I like that. Enochian magic, naturally going very, very far back. So, we were a good boy. And then we've gotten our little initiation note. We've got our acceptance certificate. So with that, now we're actually just near the end of the game. So you're going to see a nice little Baphomet symbol there. And now I'm going to stay center and go a little to the left after this little cutscene. And we're going to hope for the best, that we get the intended orangey.
Yes. So what's coming up is the 3-phase fight with the Unspeakable. I believe it's taken on the form of Miriam, and I'm no lore master, but it's all is not what it seems. Now, phase 1, you're supposed to protect Garcia whilst he recites the 91st Psalm. Now, a strat that we learned from the Ending 2 category is that if you let Garcia get killed by one of the thralls, you can save about 30 to 40 seconds in this first phase fight. Ordinarily, it would take about, I would say, maybe a minute and a half.
We didn't get it, but it's fine.
That's okay. As long as the first thrall spawns along the top side, it should be alright. But...
What just spawned on the left? Oh, hey!
Ooh, nice!
We got it.
Excellent.
Oh, it's fantastic.
You love to see it.
But also
Okay.
Go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say safe.
The only thing I was going to say is in the previous screen where you saw the blood splatter all over the ground, it's the exact same one that we see in Fate Chapter 1 where Amy was allegedly exorcised in the basement. So just a little bit of extra lore. You were going... yeah. But you were continuing with the strat for Miriam?
Right, yeah, so Garcia Tech is essentially letting him die in phase 1. Now we've gone into phase 2 where the lights are out. We're trying to find Miriam as she's approaching from various different angles. So far, this has been a really good fight. Wow,
If
this
I
is...
PB, you owe me 100 quid.
I'm a man of my word. Wait, but does she get the pentagram wham?
No, I don't.
Oh, so close. So close. Now, the pentagram wham is a strat that is intended to end phase 3 a little faster. It's one that is quite inconsistent to actually get in a run, but like if you were to practice it, you get it like in isolation, but when it comes to actually doing it in a run, it's a different story. This has been a really good fight.
Don't.
So she's got, ooh.
She nearly got me.
I tensed up seeing that.
Alright, the last thing we want to do is choke. Alright, there we go. Last boss. The unspeakable erupts from her actual body because he's masquerading this entire time. Or it. We don't actually know what it is. But yeah, we wake up. The morning breaks. Was all of that real? We don't know. We didn't get the pentagram wham this time. The pentagram wham is when we actually do just finish her off right on that pentagram, the first one that we see. And we get such a quick time out of that. Unfortunately, I didn't get it this time, but yeah, there's always a next time. And with that, we're going to get a final cutscene. We have been accepted into the cult, oh boy. And we get a personal visit from the unspeakable themselves.
The arc will open and our eyes will melt.
And so time is about to come up. In the last placard that we see on the screen, it says game over, initiation, ending 3, time. And that is the entire run. So,
Well, hey, good run.
GG.
Fantastic. So thank you very much for watching my Fate Chapter 2 run. Didn't go exactly as according to plan, but definitely we got there. And remember, Gary loves you. Thank you for having me.
That was an amazing run, Vynn. Thank you so much.